Hey folks, what's up? It is week 28. Week 28 on Men's Room, and the topic this week is about patience, and specifically about patience around transitioning, waiting for our process to get started, and how has that been beneficial for us, and what kind of stuff we've been working on while waiting. To give you all a little bit of context, I waited for quite a while to transition to go through top surgery, all that stuff. I think from the time when I started identifying as male to when I started both of those, because I did both this summer, so right around the same time. Um, I would say it was probably about a period of 7.5 years. Can't be super accurate. I can't really pinpoint a time when I just started identifying as male. Um, in any case, some of the reasons that I waited were not really about me being patient. It was a lot of, I was going to go home after graduating from college back to Cyprus for 2 years, and I really didn't know what the consequences would be for me socially, legally, whatever, of doing that. What kind of attention I would be bringing to myself in Cyprus. And I didn't really want to deal with that. I also didn't want to put my family through that before we actually got a chance to work on our relationship. So a couple of different things made me wait. And then once I got back to the States on what I currently am on, which is a work visa, and to be honest, lost patience because I couldn't wait anymore to have more of a stable standing in this country to start transitioning. I still don't know what my future is in terms of where I'll be in the long run and what all that is going to look like and how much um, a legal risk I've taken, but whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've talked about that before. Um, but to get back on topic, I just wanted to provide some context. To get back on topic, I think being forced to wait and choosing to wait in some junctions was really really beneficial for me personally. It gave me a lot of time to really process this, to really 100% feel sure that this is for me, that um, I couldn't just live as male without physical transition. I really wanted to be honest. I really wanted to exist in this world as a trans man who didn't need physical transition, and I envy folks who are in that place. Um, but I'm not one of them, and but I needed to be 100% sure that I wasn't just following the grain, so to speak, and doing what I was supposed to as a trans guy. Um, and it was really really good, and I think all that time did provide me a lot of opportunities to ask myself that question, to get frustrated with myself, but then have to wait anyway to make sure. One of the other things that really really helped me in that process was being part of this documentary right around maybe 3 years after I started identifying as male. Um, I got the opportunity to be a part of the documentary, and having someone, have a camera directed at me, asking a bunch of different questions that at some level I had thought about for myself or talked to my best friend Jordan with, and all that kind of stuff, but really hadn't articulated fully in a way to make anyone understand, at least, linguistically understand. Really made me reflect very personally, very intensely, very deeply, which was really good, and it was a great opportunity. And I wish more people had that chance to do that. And I think one of the reasons why I decided to do YouTube again, to do YouTube, was to have that opportunity again to do that. Um, So all of those really gave me some reflection points. And then when I did go back to Cyprus for 2 years, I lived with my family, my mother and my sister, and our relationship in the meantime had gotten strained a bit, uh, partly due to distance. Distance can definitely strain a relationship, but also um, in terms of our disagreeing about my identity and um, them not really knowing what was going on because they all they could do was just sit back and listen to me rant on a phone, not really see what I was going through, not really see what was going on in my life, so they didn't have much of a context to understand any of this. So being able to go back home for 2 years gave me a chance to work on that, to answer their questions, to be patient with them and allow myself to be patient with myself. Um, and it gave them an opportunity to get to know me again. I left home when I was 18, and I was going back when I was 25. So that's a lot of change. People change a lot from the ages of 18 to 25. I know I'm not saying anything major shocking to anyone here. Um, so it was an opportunity for us to get to know each other again. It was really, really important. Um, and now the conversations on the phone make a lot more sense because we know each other better. I can say things on Skype and on the phone, and they get what I'm talking about. It's easier to explain, and they trust me more with this. They're not dealing with a 17-year-old anymore in their head. They're dealing with a grown up, um, and they understand that even if they don't get this 100%, that I know what I'm doing. I know who I am and what I want, and that I'm not doing things just to do things or jumping into situations that I'm not ready for. That if I make decisions, if I make choices in my life, I've thought it through. That I don't leap just for the sake of leaping. And it's taken us to a point where we admire each other now, on our differences instead of pushing each other away. So all of that stuff has been really, really good, and I'm glad that I waited. Now, granted, I had top surgery this summer and started T this summer, both being away from my family again, and so they're not seeing the changes. They're not experiencing this with me, and that's still awkward. That's still difficult, and I wish that was different, but it is what it is. It's better than if I had done it before going back home and seeing them. My mother will be actually visiting this winter around Christmas time to spend some time with me, and then going to California to spend some time with my sister. So it'll be the first time I'll have seen her for a year and a half, actually over a year and a half at that point. And obviously, there'll be a lot of changes for her, and it's going to be a very interesting time. I'm excited for it. I'm nervous about it. But most of all, I miss her, and I can't wait to see her. Um, but yeah, so for folks who are getting frustrated with any sort of life circumstances that are in your way, I wish you the best of luck. I wish you all that if you do want to go down the transition path, that things line up for you, that things come through. But if they're not, maybe they're not for a reason. Maybe for some of you, you need to take this time to figure some stuff out in your life. Don't force it. Don't force rush it. I don't want to actually, I don't want to come off lectury. It's none of my business. Everybody's path is different. But good luck with yours, and take care of yourself in the meantime.